Your Southeast Toyota dealer. Get all the quality and reliability of a Toyota during Toyota's Best for Less sales events. By Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. At Shark Stadium, ready to go. The Marlins and the Braves. Braves lineup looks this way. It's Matt Diaz, of all people, in the leadoff spot. He's flourishing there. Martin Prado's back in the lineup as well. Chipper Jones followed by Garrett Anderson. McCann gets the night off. Adam LaRoche will hit fifth. Yunel Escobar at short. Omar Infante's in center. David Ross is behind the plate. And strike one to Matt Diaz. Adrian Johnson in full throat, calling balls and strikes, with Gary Cedarstrom, Fielding Colbreth, and Jim Wolf. Everyone's going to get a shot at home plate in this umpiring quartet. It's a 4-game series, and Diaz swings at a ball that almost bounced up there, and he still makes contact and fouls it off.
Well, he will do that. JJ, look at the numbers. 13-3, 6 or more innings, 23 of his 26 starts this year. 171 plus innings. And he has been a workhorse. He has been an absolute consistent workhorse all year.
His 10th career start against Atlanta. And he elevates that fastball to Diaz. Diaz is having a Chris Coughlin-like August. He's hitting .402 with 37 hits. As Tommy pointed out, in the leadoff spot, he's been incredible. He hasn't been there long, but he's hitting .478 up there. And so Bobby Cox said, well, who needs a base stealer? Just throw Diaz up there.
Yeah, why change things up?
He's one of the most unique hitters in the game in that he shifts his feet during the course of the pitch. Sometimes he'll back up. Sometimes he'll lean forward.
Yeah, a lot of that's because he's guessing. And we saw a great example of that in Atlanta.
3-2 is down low, and Diaz works a walk. And so JJ walks the leadoff man. Here comes Martin Prado. Here's the defense that's behind Josh Johnson.
See how the defense sets up tonight with the outfield. Coughlin, Ross, Hermida. No change. The infield has Cantu and Glode at the corners. Hanley and Uggla up the middle. And John Baker handling Josh Johnson. And he told me, John Baker did, no changes. Let's see how the fastball and slider are. If he needs to change up, they'll try to go to that occasionally.
Here is Prado. And when the Marlins were in Atlanta, Prado was not in the lineup. Pushes a bunt. JJ got there early, looked at second, had a play, and went to first. It's going to be a sacrifice. The Marlins at the very least got it out, but I think Josh Johnson had a play at second.
Yeah, I guess you have to wonder if when he looked, if he had a grip on the ball, because he did have a play. Right there, he sees, he kind of grimaces as if, I should have gone there. But at least he got the out. It's a little different thought process in the first inning. If you're indecisive, at least get the out. He did that.
Chipper Jones, Garrett Anderson, Brian McCann, after a late night last night, has this ball game off, but you still have some very good left-handed bats. You got the switch hitter and Chipper up there. Then you've got Garrett Anderson and Adam LaRoche stacked up against Johnson. Chipper, who has absolutely hammered the fish in his long career. That's a knee-high strike. .310 career hitter, 38 homers, 148 driven in. And he fouls it back to the screen.
We learn more and more about a play when you see it again. Look at second base. JJ gets it, looks, there's nobody there. Hanley is late in getting over. I think he would have gotten there, but Josh was hoping he was on the bag. He didn't want to throw right to the bag. So a little indecision. Hanley a little slow in getting there, but at least the Marlins got an out.
Here's the 1-2. Actually, Fielding Colbreth was there, and he didn't have a glove. So
he was ready to make the call. Yeah. Second base umpire.
2-2 to Chipper. Good live fastball. 96 miles an hour. So a big punch out there, and here comes Garrett Anderson.
Well, Chipper Jones now 5 for his last 48. He is in a slump and just takes a fastball that was painted on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch.
Another veteran bat comes up. Garrett Anderson had a pretty good series in Philadelphia, though the Braves dropped 2 of 3. He was 5 for 10 in that one, hitting .389 his last 10 games. He and LaRoche offensively have kind of been pushing this team along with Diaz at the top of the order. Little pop-up, and it's Hanley racing over and making the catch. Leadoff walk does not hurt Josh Johnson. Marlins get their first swings next. And 62. Chris Coghlan leads it off in left. Ross Glode at first. Nick Johnson still not back. Hanley Ramirez at short. Jorge Cantu at third. John Baker in the 5 spot had a nice day yesterday. Dan Ugglas at second. Cody Ross had a big hit yesterday as well. Jeremy Hermida, and then Josh Johnson.
And there is a look at the 33-year-old rookie. Of course, 11 years in Japan for the Chunichi Dragons, Kenshin Kawakami. The Marlins have hit him well this year. Overall, he's been okay for Bobby Cox in his rotation, but the Marlins are 2-0 against him, and his ERA is over 8.
Kawakami against Coghlan, Glode, and Hanley in the first. Coghlan has had quite the month, as we've documented over the past week. Chris takes a fastball at the letters for a strike. Fourth inning single, his 46th hit of the month. Most by a National League rookie since Wally Moon back in 1954. Most since any rookie since Ichiro did it. He really wasn't a rookie in 2001. He was a all-star caliber player at the time. Coghlan, a couple hops to Prado, and Chris is out.
There was an example of that splitter that he will use. Got the ground ball to second. Garrett Anderson, Omar Infante, Matt Diaz in the outfield. Chipper and Adam LaRoche at the corners. Escobar, Martin Prado up the middle. And David Ross doing the catching. We don't see Brian McCann. You mentioned a late night game, a Sunday night game for the Braves in Philadelphia last night.
But that does give them a pretty potent bat off the bench. A left-handed stick late in the game. And here is Glode, who fouls it off. Glode was a potent left-handed bat late in a game against the Braves. The last time the Braves were in this ballpark, he hit the walk-off home run against Rafael Soriano. Here's the 0-1. And Glode fouls it off. Nick Johnson, Marlins are hoping to get him back soon. Frank will have a report on that a little later on in the show. That's one of the things you lose with Gloat starting this game is he's eaten Soriano alive. He's 4 for 4 with that walk-off homer against Soriano. You'd love to have that in reserve in case you face the Braves closer.
Well, that's right. If you have Nick Johnson in the lineup, then you have the two veteran bats, the pinch hit specialists in Ross Gloat and Wes Helms.
As it is, Gloat in there tonight. 1-2 coming from Kawakami. And it's down low. There is Helms.
There is one of those specialists.
Marlin pinch hitters lead the majors in pinch hit RBIs, 34. That is strike 3. Good comeback fastball by Kawakami. Caught the corner.
Two things in watching Kawakami here early that can make him tough. That pitch there, not afraid to work inside the righties or lefties. You saw that fastball move. When he does that and gets that over, then his splitter becomes more effective.
Hanley Ramirez stands in now. Now Hanley is just 1 hit behind Coughlin in the month. 45 hits. He's kept his batting average up. He was up in the 360s most of the weekend. Now at 359. Comfortably ahead of Pablo Sandoval at 333. The Giants and the Rockies both have the night off. In fact, those two teams have played one more game than these two teams. So whoever wins this game is going to pick up that half game and be 3 back in the wild card. Here's the 0-1 coming.
What a great series for the Giants in San Francisco against the Rockies.
What a great call by Dwayne Kuiper on the grand slam by Edgar Renteria.
How about Edgar Renteria with his 8th career grand slam?
Hanley fouls it at the plate. Now Hanley, when he faced Kawakami down here last time, there were a lot of balls that left the yard, including Hanley's, which was a no-doubter. Dan Uggla got him. Hanley got him, and Josh Johnson got him for a 3-run shot. The breaking ball, Kawakami looks sharp. He goes 1-2-3 through the fish. We're underway. Marlins and Braves, and scoreless. Thought you brought the wipes. Mom brought the food. Dad's trying to come through.
But where's the binky?
Mikasuki brings you our weather. 86 degrees, some humidity. Rain is lurking. Josh Johnson, a fastball swing and a miss.
So far, it looks like both pitchers are on the top of their game.
Adam LaRoche, Yunel Escobar, Omar Infante. LaRoche has been hot since the Marlins have seen him in a Braves uniform. And of course, LaRoche acquired at the start of August, so all of his ABs are in August. He's hitting .370 in August. We have 4 of the top 5 August hitters in this ball game.
And I think more importantly for the Braves, 8 home runs in August too. So the .370, but getting the power that they wanted from LaRoche.
Goes after the high heat. Josh Johnson punches him out. Boy, JJ up to 97 on that fastball.
Well, I like that high heat because that's where LaRoche is susceptible to pitches. Gets a good fastball, stays above the belt. Another strike, and then misses up, but look at how he stays up the whole time. Adam LaRoche is a great low fastball hitter, and JJ went away from his strength and went up to some good fastballs.
Now Yunel Escobar, the young Cuban shortstop, rolls it out to Hanley, gobbles it up, fires on to first in time, and 2 quick outs for Josh Johnson. Let the Marlins pay your mortgage or rent payment. The Marlins mortgage payout during each Marlins Super Saturday. One fan will be awarded with a check for up to $2,500 towards their mortgage or rent. It's free. It only takes a minute to enter. So visit Marlins.com and register for the Marlins mortgage payout. And while you're on Marlins.com, you can always go to the ballpark link, click on webcam, and check in and see how things are doing at the Orange Bowl site as the new ballpark continues to take shape. Omar Infante, the versatile one.
Yeah, you saw Hanley Ramirez make that play on the ground ball. Hanley's made just 8 errors. He's gone 44 consecutive errorless games. Keep in mind, his first 3 years as a shortstop, he made 72 errors.
And he led all National League shortstops in errors last year with 22, as Infante went after that one. This year, I think last we checked, he was 3rd in fielding percentage. 0-2 from JJ. Fastball pumped it by him. Boy, Josh Johnson, an 8-pitch inning, a pair of strikeouts in the inning, 3 in the ball game, and the Marlins ace is off to a quick start. Who are responsible for getting a game on the air. We'll spotlight as well Marlin announcers. It's Inside the Marlins. It premieres Wednesday at 10 after the ball game on Fox Sports Florida. For a preview of the show, visit the Marlins page on FoxSportsFloridaTV.com. Everybody was on their best behavior the 2 days that they were shooting that show. So what you will see in that show is not necessarily an average day in the life. Cantu chops it fair, and it gets by Chipper, and it rolls into the corner, and Cantu with a left turn has got himself a double. One thing we've seen, especially this year, Chipper Jones really has slowed down at third base. His mobility, Tommy, nowhere near where it's been in his career.
He still has those hands, very good hands at third, but not the same range that we used to see. This ball just out of his way. He can't get to it, but the beneficiary is Jorge Cantu. He gets the double to lead things off.
I think at one point the Braves are going to have to say, Chipper, can you play first, or will you play first? Even though they do have some prospects coming up as first baseman in their system. Here's John Baker now, and with nobody out, Bake hooks one into right field. That's a base hit. Cantu to third. He'll be held there. Diaz throw comes all the way to the plate, and John Baker continues to swing a hot bat. With runners in scoring position, Bake is one of the Marlins' best. He was 2 for 4 with a big 2-run single in the comeback win yesterday against the Padres.
All right, Rich, what do I always say?
Good things happen when you try to do the right thing.
All right, he's trying to pull the ball. You can see clearly getting the top hand up on his high fastball. Trying to pull the ball just to get Jorge Cantu to third. What happens? He pulls it past the second baseman, gets Cantu to third, and gets himself a base hit, too.
Here's Uggla now. Uggla yesterday was 1 for 3 with a double. Baker now 343 with runners in scoring position. Of course, Hanley has been among the league leaders throughout the season. Uggla's numbers against the Braves always seems to hit well against Atlanta, though more homers on the road in Atlanta than here. Breaking ball, little tapper, and it's going to stay foul. 15 career home runs for Uggla against Atlanta, and one of those 15 was in this ballpark against this pitcher.
Well, he too took Kawakami deep on a fastball that didn't quite tail in far enough.
He is 2 for 4. Not a lot of history, obviously, with the Marlins and Kawakami. This is his first year in the big leagues. But like we were talking about with Ichiro, when he had that rookie run in 2001, he really wasn't a true rookie. This guy is 34, and he's been a well-decorated pitcher in Japan for 11 years.
I think one of the differences in Japan in his 11 years, he had a tremendous strikeouts to walks ratio. Not quite the same here. Coming into this game, 93 strikeouts, 53 walks. Not at all the ratio he had in Japan.
Cantu opened with a double. Baker singled. Uggla, in his last 2 swings, looks like he's just trying to make contact. And the 1-2 coming. Tommy, one thing to watch with Kawakami is his movement from the stretch. The last time he was here, the Marlins complained a couple of times that he would come set, stop, start his motion, and he was actually called for a balk. Uggla got the breaking ball, and he stayed right on it. Drives it to left center field. A running catch there. Tagging is Cantu. Uggla gets a sacrifice fly. It's a nice play by Infante in left center.
A couple of good things. Good play by Infante and a real nice at bat and swing by Dan Uggla. You saw him foul off, little emergency swings on the slow curve. Kawakami didn't want to give him the fastball to hit. There's the slow breaking ball again. And he stays back enough and hits this ball hard, but Infante just chased it down in the gap.
So Uggla delivers the first run of the ball game, and here comes Cody Ross. Cody Ross has been hot. His average up to 271, and he's driven in 72. We were talking about runners in scoring position and how well Baker and Hanley have hit. Ross, in the last 2 weeks, is 9 for his last 15 with runners on, and it was a 2-run double that cracked open the game yesterday against the Padres. He'll take a high fastball. He's homered against Kawakami. Slow breaking balls a strike, and it's 1-1. The Braves just left Philadelphia, where Atlanta dropped 2 of 3 to the Phillies. That, ironically, is where the San Francisco Giants are tonight, getting ready for their series against the Phillies tomorrow night. The Rockies are home against the Mets. It's Mike Pelfrey, Jorge De La Rosa going for Colorado. Jonathan Sanchez goes for the Giants. Cole Hamels going for the Phillies. Those series start tomorrow.
Is the Brad Penny thing official with San Francisco?
MLB.com is reporting it is official. Giants have signed Brad Penny. Back to the mound. Kawakami, a sidearm throw there, and a quick turn by Prado. So the Marlins get a run and get on the board first against Kenshin Kawakami. Have teamed up to give your student the best show and tell of all time. Take Josh Johnson to School contest. Sign up at any South Florida Metro PCS location or guest services at Landshark Stadium. It's your chance to send Josh Johnson to your child's show and tell. Metro PCS, unlimit yourself. Josh Johnson gets David Ross, Kenshin Kawakami, and then top of the order, Matt Diaz. Here in the third inning, 1-0, Fish on top. 3 strikeouts for Johnson. He's walked 1. He's not given up a hit. And the veteran Ross getting the start with McCann getting the night off. JJ buries that breaking ball.
Got the feeling we'll probably see Brian McCann the next 3 games.
Hudson and Sanchez tomorrow. Tim Hudson returns from Tommy John surgery. Now, we've talked about Josh Johnson and his amazing return from Tommy John surgery. Remember, he came in just under 11 months from time of surgery to back in the big leagues. For Tim Hudson, it's about 13 months.
Just a little over a year, yeah.
August 8th, I believe, was his surgery of last year.
And you're talking about an older pitcher, Tim Hudson, 33, 34.
You know, since he's been back, Josh Johnson is 20-4. Last year he went 7-1 in 14 starts. So if you add this year to that, you get 40 starts, 20-4. (13-3) this year. His ERA right at 3. Ross has called out a couple of times for timeout. And the 3-2's coming. Josh misses down low, and he's walked the leadoff man again.
That's a guy you'd like to go right after, because now it sets up a sacrifice situation for Kawakami.
Yeah, MLB.com is reporting that the Giants have added Brad Penny.
And they're also, you and I were talking between innings, I know he's getting close to coming back, kind of forgotten about the big unit, Randy Johnson.
And Randy Johnson expects to be back at some point in September in the bullpen. And the Giants rotation is already outstanding with Lincecum, Kane. Barry Zito is back to his old bad self, as in good self. Back in his Oakland days, he was outstanding against the Rockies. Jonathan Sanchez opens up that series in Philadelphia.
He's been kind of off and on, but when he's been on, he's been pretty good. Threw a no-hitter earlier this year.
Kawakami has bunted a couple foul, and it's 0-2. And it looks like the Giants put in that claim for Trevor Hoffman to block him for possibly the Rockies, possibly the Dodgers, maybe even the Marlins or the Braves for that matter. But the Giants did put in a claim on Trevor Hoffman. No deal was made. Hoffman is still a Brewer. All right, Kawakami is out trying to bunt. On card standings, we've told you both San Francisco and Colorado are off tonight, so the winner of this game picks up a half game. You've got the Cubs, who are hanging around at 65 and 63. Milwaukee at 2 under. Now, winning percentage of the remaining opponents.
Take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Because as I think Marlins fans know, you play a hot team, be it the Padres, the Nationals, it doesn't matter.
A swing and a miss. Yeah, you hear oftentimes people say, well, you've got to sweep the Padres, you got to sweep the Nationals. I asked Bobby Cox that today, and he said, are you kidding me? He said the Padres.
Ask any guy who's been around the game for a long time.
He said the Padres played great in Atlanta. They played well defensively.
They took 2 out of 3 against the Braves.
Took 2 out of 3 from the Braves. They hit well, they pitched well, they played great defensively, and they did the same thing here.
Well, we saw the defense.
And you almost thought, as the Padres left the field yesterday, good luck to you, because for the Marlins, they need the Padres to keep playing well, because certainly the Rockies and the Giants will see them in September. Diaz to Hanley to Uglo to Glow. Got a double play. Josh Johnson rolls 2, finishes the Braves in the 3rd. Marlins up early, 1-0.
While the infield was being worked on by the grounds crew, Nick was in the outfield taking some fungos from infield coach Andy Fox. He did some pretty good lateral movement to test out that hamstring. Freddie Gonzalez saying that tomorrow Johnson will go to the Jupiter Hammerheads in the Florida State League on a rehab assignment. They hope to get him a couple of games in there, and the hope is that if he can't at least accompany the team to Washington for the start of the road trip, which begins Friday in D.C., that he will join the team sometime in Washington, again, depending on how it goes in that rehab assignment with Jupiter in the Florida State League. But at least it's good news that Nick Johnson will be on the field tomorrow night and getting some at-bats for Jupiter. Rich and Tommy?
Boy, it would be nice for the Marlins to have him back in the lineup for the rest of the month, that's for sure. Jeremy Hermida leading it off.
Well, as we said earlier, it affects the lineup. Certainly, it hasn't affected Chris Coghlan here in the month of August.
Or Hanley Ramirez, for that matter.
But it changes the complexion of things, changes the bench.
Off the end of the bat, and a flip over to first. And Hermida is out number 1 here in the 3rd inning. Speaking of joining us tomorrow night, it's Email Tuesday. Marlins president of baseball operations, Larry Beinfest.
Oh, good to have Larry on.
Will join us. And I want to throw out a couple of preemptive shots across the bow for Email Tuesday, just for our viewers, because we get 600 emails a night on Email Tuesday. JJ takes a fastball up. For those fans, and I've heard it a couple times already today, saying, why didn't the Marlins go out and sign Brad Penny, and why didn't they go out and sign John Smoltz? Those players chose those teams. It wasn't a matter of a team bidding more money than another. Smoltz had an opportunity to go to 3 or 4 different teams. He chose the Cardinals. Penny got to weigh his options. JJ laces one into center field. It's a base hit. And so it wasn't a matter of the Marlins not pursuing those players. It was a matter of those players not choosing the Marlins.
And I think we could get into a little more in depth to that with Larry Beinfest tomorrow night.
All right, here's the other thing I wanted to make sure everybody knows. It's Diaz. Every time we do a Braves series, we get a ton of emails saying, hey, how come
his name is pronounced Diaz? See, if he were with the Marlins, we'd have to say, and his name is Matt Diaz.
Yes, it's not Diaz. I know that that's a popular pronunciation for that spelling, but the Diaz family goes by Diaz. But we thank you for your support. Look forward to your emails tomorrow night. Coghlan takes a strike.
By the way, how about the swing of Josh Johnson against Kawakami? Remember, it was JJ who hit a home run against Kawakami.
Coghlan bounced to second on a 1-2 splitter. Little broken bat, that's going to get in there for a base hit. And Chris Coghlan continues an incredible month. 47 hits in the month of August. Tommy, if he is not the National League Rookie of the Month, they should do away with the award.
Well, here's a great thought, and I'm going to plant this seed. If he's not the National League Rookie of the Month, there's something wrong with the system, and he's got a chance to be the National League Player of the Month, period.
You're right.
It doesn't have to be rookie.
He's led everybody in hits this month, and with every hit he gets tonight, it's a new Marlin record. So JJ's at second, Coghlan's at first. And here is Glode.
And here's another one to think about. It's been a productive month for Chris Coghlan as well. All the base hits. But he has 4 home runs, 18 RBIs. Hanley has 16 RBIs in the month. So he's had a productive month as a leadoff hitter.
Glode takes a knee-high fastball. That's where Kawakami went to get a strikeout of Glode. At the knees on the inside black back in the first. Kawakami got both his strikeouts in the first. After Glode, he got Hanley. And Ross golfs that one back. It's 0-2.
So basically what you were saying is to kind of give a little bit of heads up to our fans for Email Tuesday tomorrow night.
Yeah, because oftentimes in Email Tuesday,
scouting report.
Sure, we will get 10, 15 emails on a certain subject. We can't read them all, so we'll take the best ones. And we just wanted to make sure that the Diaz file doesn't fill up again on this Braves telecast. But certainly if you have a question for Larry Beinfest, whether it's about call-ups or September or all the different nuances or rules, Glode goes down swinging. Formulate those questions and send them in for an email Tuesday tomorrow night. The next Family Sunday is on September 13th. The Nationals are here. It's a big day. It's Hanley Ramirez Bobblehead Day. First 5,000 fans, courtesy of Preferred Care Partners. Kids can run the bases after the game in the Diamond Dash 1-877-MARLINS or visit marlins.com. We have a Hanley bobblehead in the booth. In fact, the Marlins are 1-0 with the Hanley bobblehead. There it is. Bobble the head.
That's great. That Hanley's number 2.
And a good likeness.
Yeah, this is a nice one.
Although we need to put the pine tar on the helmet.
Helmet's too clean.
We'll work on that, and by tomorrow we should have the pine tar on the helmet.
You talked about Hanley, third in the league now with runners in scoring position, but still just tremendous at 384.
And always a concern. Ross out to talk to Kawakami. A chance to win a batting title. He would be the first Marlin to do so. If Coughlin has a good September and he were to win the Rookie of the Year award, it would be the third Marlin to win Rookie of the Year. Hanley won it. Dontrell Willis won it. That's down low. It's 2-0.
We haven't seen this too often, especially in the month of August, but Hanley right now gone a couple of games without a hit and is 0 for his last 9. So would love to bang one out here. Going to have to get one in a gap. It'll be real easy to score Josh Johnson from second, but there are 2 out. So JJ should get a good jump.
We've talked on this homestand about center fielders and how deep they play. Look how deep Omar Infante is in center field.
He's out there in Angel Pagan territory.
That's down low, and it's 3-0. Well, let's see if Kawakami comes in with a fat one.
And let's see if Hanley has a green light. A lot of times that's an individual thing given by the manager.
Yep, green light, and he chops it to Chipper. Chopper to Chipper, who stays on the bag and gets the out. In fact, he just hands the ball to Josh Johnson. Marlins come up empty, 1-0. He's full of it.
Yeah, and the blue cotton candy is messier than the pink cotton.
You think his sister wants some of that now that he's just got it all? That he's got
Look at Mom saying that's enough.
With an ice cream chaser.
Oh, we got the pink stuff ready, too. Here we go.
That's for her.
Yeah.
He gets blue, she gets pink. Our Toyota trim. It's not on cotton candy, it's on Josh Johnson. 3-1 in 6 career home starts versus the Atlanta Braves. Martin Prado takes outside. Prado, Chipper Jones, and Garrett Anderson for the Braves in the 4th. Prado a sacrifice bunt in the 1st. JJ splits the plate, and it's 1-1. Hanley to his left. On to first in time.
There are little indications when you can tell a hitter is swinging well and when a hitter is not swinging well. Hanley got the green light. 3-0. Not a bad pitch. Fastball out over the plate, but pulled off of it. And just not the greatest of swings. And so that's a little indication. Right now he's not seeing the ball as well as he has been. Usually with Hanley it doesn't last too long.
Here's Chipper. And I think the same could be said about Chipper. As you noted, he's in a funk right now. And that doesn't seem to last long with him. Especially last year. Last year a batting title. Chipper an incredible year. He had 364.
He's hit over 300 10 times in his Hall of Fame career.
Adrian Johnson in this ball game has had a high strike zone, but he's been consistent with it for both sides. He's called it for Josh. He's called it for Kawakami. And Chipper fouls it at the plate.
Come on, Chip. Come on, Chipper.
Chipper now with 424 career home runs.
That's 41st on the all-time list. He's 2 behind Billy Williams.
And by the way, 38 of those have been against the Marlins.
Ooh. Pretty good pitch. And it's 3-2.
Wow.
3-2. Fastball threw it by him.
Well, when in doubt, don't worry about corners. Just rear back, throw that mid-90s fastball with just a little movement, and get it by Chipper Jones.
Good job by Bake to squeeze it. The Duck making his appointed 4th inning rounds. 3 Braves combined to no-hit San Diego in 1991. Who are they?
Alejandro Pena.
Mark Wohlers. Was John Rocker there in 91?
I'm not sure. Kind of lost track of him.
Gene Garber left by then?
He was gone by then, yeah. Gene Garber stopped Pete Rose's 44-game hit streak.
High pop. Cantu over, and it's just out of his reach. How about your brother-in-law? Did Dick Ruthven?
Yeah, he was gone in 91, yeah. It was actually the first combined no-hitter, which is hard to believe, in National League history. That's hard to believe.
That is hard to believe. In 91?
We've established now, it looks like, that Adrian Johnson, who has been consistent, but he's not going to call that pitch on the outer part of the plate.
He'll call it up. The 2-2. Chopper up the middle. Hanley had him played perfectly. And a 1-2-3 inning. The Braves are down in order here in the fourth. JJ taking the hit. 1-0. Against Kawakami. Kawakami making his 25th start. A shorter schedule and a lighter workload for Japanese starters.
Yeah, I happened to look. The most starts he had ever had in Japan for Chunichi was 26.
David Ross
getting a new piece of equipment.
I wonder if he just traded gloves with Bobby Cox.
Yeah, Bobby just usually has a glove, and he usually has a catcher's mitt.
Yeah.
But Kawakami, a 6-time All-Star, 6-time Gold Glove winner in Japan.
Cantu doubled his first at bat, and he takes a strike. Adrian Johnson. We had Johnson behind the plate after a Jim Joyce ball game about 2 weeks ago, and their strike calls very similar. One-two coming. Cantu stayed on the breaking ball and pulls it foul.
Talking to you and I both talking to Jorge Cantu about his little league team, the young kids from Reynoso, Mexico, and just proud of them. I mean, yeah, they didn't win, but just proud of the fact that they made the semifinals. They were one of the 4 teams that had a chance right there at the end, and all the elimination games leading up to that.
And of course, Adrian Gonzalez and the Padres is thrilled after the ball game yesterday because they went back to the clubhouse and watched the finish of the championship game, and it were the kids from Chula Vista from San Diego that won it all. All right, the Duck. What name did you throw out?
Alejandro Pena.
All right, I'm going with Mark Wohlers in there.
Not a bad guess. That's a good guess.
Kent Merker.
Yeah, we each got one. They got Wohlers and Pena.
That's hard to believe that that's the first combined no-hitter in National League history. Here's the 1-0 coming. John Baker slaps it into left field. Boy, Baker is hot. He singled in the second, and he singles here in the fourth.
See, now he goes back to that inside-out swing with nobody at second base. John Baker now 5 for his last 9. This time he doesn't have to get that top hand over and pull a ball to advance a runner. Stays back, lines it into left.
Here is Uggla now. Dan delivered the only run of the ball game, a sacrifice fly in the second. Ball in the dirt. It scoots behind Ross. But as a base runner, anytime it's around the catcher's feet.
And when you're a catcher and a base runner, you even know that more. Dave Ross, a good number 2 catcher.
He's a better throwing catcher than Brian McCann. He has a better throwing percentage. He's thrown out 12 of 32 base runners.
He will not hit for a high average, but he'll give you some home runs. A couple of years ago, a few years ago, 07, he had 17 home runs for Cincinnati.
As a comparison, McCann has thrown out 17 of 75. There's a low strike, and it counts 2-1. Will the Braves keep Kawakami in the rotation? Will they go to a 6-man rotation, or do they yank him out once Hudson enters tomorrow?
Well, if you have off days, and there aren't too many, but there will be some, you hate to go with 6 men, because now you're talking about every 6th or 7th day. And if you have guys like Jurgens and Hansen and Derek Lowe, guys who are on a nice rotation, and Javier Vasquez, you don't want to change that too much.
Marlins still don't know who is going to start on Wednesday. Uggla takes in.
Might be a good question for Larry Grindfest tomorrow night. He may not be able to give us the answer, but maybe some hints.
Uggla into left field. Dan with a nice stroke.
You know what Dan Uggla is saying right now, and this is a great approach he's had. If you're going to keep throwing me that slow curveball, I'm going to stay back and have some good swings. He had a good swing on the sac fly. Here it comes again. He stays back, golfs it, goes down and gets it, and lined it hard into left field.
Here is Cody now. He bounced into a double play back in the second inning. Marlins and Braves walk into this 4-game series looking right in the mirror. Same record, 68 and 62. 32 games left. Both teams 3.5 out in the wild card behind the Rockies and the Giants. And Cody gets the same pitch that Uggla hit.
You know, he might have been a little bit quick on it, but it almost looked like he was looking for that.
Runners in scoring position. We talked about Cody last 2 weeks. 9 for 15. Baker and Uggla. Tapper towards short. Might be 2. It's a good double play combination of Escobar and Prado. That's their second double play of the ball game, and it's still 1-0. Spanish broadcasters tonight, Cookie and Raul. Hi, guys.
Richie, tell me, how are you?
We're good.
Lanzadores is what we have going on.
I like that.
Pitchers duel. That's a good one for you guys.
I like that. Lanzadores muy macho is Josh Johnson. That's about it.
Muy guapo.
There you go. Adam LaRoche takes inside. Big ball game, guys. It sets the tone for this series, and whoever wins picks up the half game in the wild card race.
I think that this might be the difference in who gets to the wild card if you can sweep one club or another. So it's important for Josh Johnson to win this ball game for us, and he's in great form tonight.
Yeah, he's established himself early on against the team that he is 4-1 against in his career, the Braves.
Batazo foul de LaRoche.
Yeah, it doesn't always work out this way, Cookie, to have your ace start the first game of a big series. But when he does, you really need to win that game, I think.
Well, I think if you win this game, Tommy, it's very important. I think that will succeed for the ball club to go out and win tomorrow and the next day and maybe sweep him, which I think we need to win 4, 5, 6 games in a row and able to advance in the wild card or maybe get close enough to the Phillies, because we still got 7 games with them. So if we can cut down from 8 games that we're behind right now to 4 and have 7 games with them, we got a good chance.
LaRoche yanks that one foul into the seats. All right, guys, have a good show.
You too.
Thank you, guys. You too.
Remember the last time Josh Johnson worked to Adam LaRoche, he kept going up with fastballs. Once he got ahead, he has 2 strikes on him, 2-2. Let's see if he changes that pattern.
LaRoche tries to pull an outside fastball. Adam LaRoche, Yunel Escobar, Omar Infante in the 5th in a 1-0 ball game.
Rich, I think it's just a tribute to the work that Josh Johnson put in. When he was recuperating and rehabbing from Tommy John surgery, the shape that he got himself in. This is a great pitch.
Struck him out inside corner, the express.
To have thrown last year a combined 116 2/3 innings between minor league starts and his big league starts, to approach 180 innings in this game tonight and make pitches like that, I think it's a tribute to the way he has worked to get himself in this kind of shape.
Here is Escobar. And he misses down low. Well, Josh has said the whole rehab process changed his entire outlook on nutrition, on exercise, and as you noted, it changed his body type, and he has kept that same routine. So he's kept the routine that he did in rehabbing as his normal routine now, because he liked the way he felt coming out of the rehab. That ball wasn't that far inside.
Great example of how a lot of times a lot of good comes out of something bad. You know, to have to undergo Tommy John surgery, but look at the good that has come out of it.
3-0 is up, and he loses Escobar. Josh's 3rd walk of the ball game. Saturday afternoons made for baseball. This week, Fox brings you the national game of the week. Red Sox, White Sox, a pivotal game for both teams' playoff chances. Fox Saturday baseball this week at 4 Eastern on Fox.
Keep an eye on Escobar. You're at the part of the order. You have a guy up there with decent bat control in Infante. Escobar only has 3 stolen bases, but keep your eye on him.
Ground ball, Hanley has it. Ugla, the turn. Not in time, double play. Josh Johnson through 5. The Braves without a run, without a hit. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Lots of Josh Johnson fastballs, 6 strikeouts. The Braves don't have a run and don't have a hit. The Marlins have 6 hits. Johnson has 1 of those 6 hits. And JJ is due up second here in the 5th. Hermida, Johnson, Coghlan. The Braves have turned 2 double plays. The Marlins have turned 2 double plays. Hermida, chopper. LaRoche is very good at first, and he makes a great feed.
Boy, look how quick Kawakami got over there, too.
He won 3 Gold Gloves in Japan. Frank Ford, not so much. No Gold Gloves in Frank's past.
How do you know for sure? Hey, guys, while the Marlins battle for a playoff spot, 2 of their 6 minor league teams have already clinched postseason berths. First of all, in the Gulf Coast League, the Gulf Coast Marlins under manager Jorge Hernandez, they are 21 games over 500, 38-17. They clinched the East Division. 1 game left in the regular season. They'll start the playoffs this week. Up in Jacksonville, the AA Jacksonville Suns of the Southern League, they are 41-22 in the second half, led by manager Brandon Hyde. They have a 3.5 game lead for the second half title. They've clinched a wild card playoff spot. Now, the way it works in the Southern League, it's the first half champion and the second half champion of each respective division. Birmingham won the first half. The Barons are chasing the Suns for that second half title. Even if Birmingham were to overtake the Suns, Jacksonville would have the best record among remaining teams for the entire regular season and thus would advance on the wild card. So we wish all those teams, both those teams, the best of luck in the playoffs. Remember, the Marlins AA team last year, which was in Carolina, made it all the way to the finals before they lost a best-of-5 series in Game 5.
Here's the 1-1. Josh takes down low, and Larry Beinfest tomorrow. Certainly we can ask him about how minor league postseasons affect call-ups. JJ against Kawakami, 2 for 3 with a home run. Man, and he smacks that one. LaRoche has made 1 error all season long in his stops. Pittsburgh, Boston, and here in Atlanta.
One of the best at first base.
Next Super Saturday is the 12th of September. Willie Chirino is in concert. Fireworks spectacular as well. The Marlins battle the Nationals at 6:10. Celebrate Hispanic Heritage Night. Fans will get a Marlins body flag courtesy of Delta Dental, 1-877 Marlins, or go to marlins.com. We saw a body flag yesterday. It's a sort of almost looks like a kimono like wrap with all different flags.
Many different flags.
Many different flags.
By the way, when Frank was giving that report, you heard the name of manager in Jacksonville, AA manager Brandon Hyde. Very good up-and-coming young manager. I think someday, if given the opportunity, wherever it might be, we could see him as a big league coach, and then someday down the road, a big league manager.
Here is Chris Coghlan. That's how both Freddie Gonzalez and Carlos Tosca reached the big leagues as successful minor league managers, and then big league coaches, and then big league managers. Coghlan dumped a single to left. He's got an 8-game hit streak, and he now has 47 hits in the month of August.
You know, we talk about the fact leading major league rookies in batting average, hits, multi-hit games, total bases, on base percentage.
Line drive left field. Coghlan, not this time. Garrett Anderson swoops in at the last minute and snatches it just before it hit the grass. 1, 2, 3 go the fish. In the 5th, on to the 6th, 1-0. Today, it's a 4-game series against the Braves. Every game in high definition. The last one is on Sun Sports. And then a flight up to D.C. to take on the Nationals Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Look at the line by Johnson. 5 innings, 60 pitches, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 2 double play balls.
Yeah, the double play balls have helped as far as the pitch count, even though he's walked 3. 11, now 12 of 17 first pitch strikes.
David Ross, the pitcher, Kenshin Kawakami, and Matt Diaz. A strike, and it's 0-2, and that's a pitch, as we pointed out, that Adrian Johnson has called very consistently. High breaking ball. Kawakami has been able to get that for a strike. Johnson's been able to get that for a strike.
Tried to paint outside with 96 and just missed. Speaking of a guy who's been painting lately, how about Zach Greinke of the Kansas City Royals? A complete game one-hitter. One-hit shutout last night against Seattle. At one point retired 22 straight. And for Greinke, who is a guy that, unless you really follow the game, you probably haven't heard of, but in his last outing struck out 15. So he's 13-8 with a 2.32 ERA.
And he deserves Cy Young consideration. I know he doesn't play on a team that's contending. I think that works in his favor in some cases. I mean, to me, if you're a pitcher and your numbers are the best, 2.32 ERA leads the American League. He doesn't have the most wins, but that ERA on a team that's not very good, to me, stands out more so than if he were pitching for Boston or New York. Doesn't get the publicity, but I think that makes the ERA even more impressive. Swing and a miss, and Ross ran into everything. The bat, the mask, not the ball. Baker picked that up and threw him out.
I like the way he got his footwork going, John Baker, to get inside, too, to make that throw to first. How about checking out a little JJ and what he's done in this one? He has thrown fastballs in spots, worked upstairs to LaRoche. He's gotten 7 strikeouts in the game, made great pitches, and has gotten help from his defense with a couple of double plays. This was a nice scoop by Hanley to turn it over to Dan Uggla.
Kawakami takes strike 1. Kawakami trying to bunt back in the 3rd, trying to move Ross up after a leadoff walk. Fouled off 3 pitches. And quickly it's 0-2. Johnson beat Kawakami and the Braves on July 29th, 6-3 here. He went 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs. He gave up home runs, 2 of them in that ball game. Garrett Anderson got him, and Casey Kochman departed for Boston, but not before he got that home run. That was one of Kochman's last games as a Brave, when the Braves and the Red Sox swapped first baseman. The Braves got Adam LaRoche back, sent Kochman up to Boston. 0-2 coming.
Dan, it was after that Kochman home run, Frank Wren said, now you hit home runs. That's what they wanted from LaRoche, and they're getting it from him.
1-2 coming. JJ doesn't like the new baseball. He wants another one. Zach Greinke, 2.32 ERA. Felix Hernandez of the Mariners at 2.77 is second in the American League. 2-2. CC Sabathia, Justin Verlander with their 15 wins. What about Adam Wainwright?
Yeah, 16 wins. Picked up his 16th last night against the Nationals. That's
in, and this has turned into a prolonged at bat for Kawakami.
one that Josh did not want to have to deal with.
And Kawakami keeps battling.
Speaking of the Nationals, not a big blockbuster deal, but how about Ronnie Belliard going from the Nationals to the Dodgers? Did you see that?
He's probably being fitted right now for his Dodgers Scully. Here's the 3-2. Line shot. We wish Ronnie the best of luck. He Miami guy.
Local guy, and is a solid guy, a solid player. I mean, he'll be a good addition to the Dodgers.
Played a nice role on a world championship team in St. Louis.
And getting him in time to be eligible for postseason.
10th pitch of this at bat. Chopper. Hanley hesitates and gets him.
Boy, anybody else may have gotten a base hit on that, because it was a high chopper, because there was some hesitation. But Kawakami wore himself out with 10 swings.
A lot of numbers about Josh Johnson are impressive. This, to me, is one of the most. What he's done in his division since 1969, best against any division.
Wow.
19-2 against the National League East. Pedro against the American League West and the American League Central. That's how good Pedro was in the American League. Diaz shortens the bunt and takes down low. So 19-2. We know he's pitched so well against the Mets, but it holds true against the Phillies, against the Braves, and against the Nationals. One and one. Matt Diaz, one of the hottest hitters in baseball. And JJ seems to have lost a little bit of his feel, even though he has the first 2 outs of this 6th inning. Very humid night here in Miami. And Diaz couldn't lay off the slider. It's 2-2.
Yeah, you hope that 10 pitch at bat of Kawakami didn't wear him out too much. Look at the last.
Two. Foul back to the screen. Another 2-2. Line drive, base hit. Braves have their first hit. And it's Diaz, who is red hot, that gets it. So Josh takes a no-hitter, 2 outs into the 6th.
Looked like he got the slider and it just stayed middle of the plate. Didn't have that bite to it, take it away. And for a guy who's been so successful against the Marlins in his career, only fitting that Matt Diaz gets that first base hit.
Over 400 in the month of August is Diaz.
It's his first career hit. Only a few at bats, but his first career hit against Josh Johnson.
So the Braves' first hit. Now Prado, who was 0 for 1. One thing about Johnson here in the 6th, a no-hitter, 2 outs into this inning, but he has worked from the stretch. Remember, leadoff walks in the 1st and in the 3rd. Diaz is running a huge jump, and JJ either froze up, didn't hear it.
Yeah, that was somebody's got to be yelling. Everybody's got to be yelling, but sometimes a pitcher gets so locked in, he knows he made the mistake. Look at, he takes off. As a pitcher, you have to just step off. Step off, look at the runner. You got an easy out at second base. But Josh continued with his pitch to the plate. Probably have guys yelling, there he goes. You have somebody yelling, step off. But he was so focused on making his pitch, he did neither.
Here's the 1-1. Pop up, Glode makes the catch.
No harm, no foul.
But one hit. 1-0 Fish. Just send a postcard with your name, address, phone number, date of birth, and email address to the address that's on your screen right now. But for more information, go to fsfloridatv.com today. Fox Sports Florida, Heineken Light, upgrade your experience, sweepstakes. Josh Johnson has given up a hit but not a run. The Marlins have 6 hits but just 1. Cantu's run coming in the second.
He'd had such a good pace. The most pitches he'd thrown through the first 5 innings, 15 in the 4th inning. He had to use 25 to get through that to 6th inning.
And I'll tell you what, it was the at-bat by Kenshin Kawakami that really stretched him out before Diaz came up and punched a single to center. Glode is 0 for 2. And it's 1-1. Glode, Hanley, Cantu. Marlins have had opportunities, but Kawakami, like Johnson, has rolled 2 double plays. Glode goes down and gets that one, drives it to center. Infante tracking it and makes the catch.
Wow, if not for playing that deep, he hasn't tracked that ball down. Deep, just as he gets to the warning track, he's able to make the catch.
This copyright telecast is presented by authority of the Florida Marlins, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Florida Marlins or Dusty Baker, a former Brave, who I believe was on deck when Henry Aaron hit his,
I believe you're right,
record home run.
I thought you were going to throw an Earl Williams at him. Good catch.
Manley 0 for 2. His second 0 for was a painful one. Marlins had a couple guys on, and Hanley had a 3-0 count with 2 outs and got a green light, and he tried to yank a fastball that was off the plate, and he dribbled it down the third baseline.
Yeah, right now Hanley's not seeing the ball well, not having good swings.
But you don't hit 358 without making adjustments, not only from game to game, but from at bat to at bat. And we've seen Hanley do that all year long. Oh, that's a low strike.
And a call like that will make you chase a pitch as borderline low when you have 2 strikes. Moylan and O'Flaherty getting loose.
So it's 2-2.
Matching up against aces hasn't been unusual for Kawakami. It seems like every time he's gone to the mound, he's faced somebody's ace.
Santana, Halladay, Lincecum, guys like that. And he's pitched well in those ball games. And he's pitching well in this one against Josh Johnson. He hasn't had a whole lot of run support. His ERA is just a shade over 4, and yet he is 6-10. Of course, there's some pretty good ERAs on this Atlanta rotation. Javier Vasquez, 3.02. Tommy Hanson.
How about Jurgens?
3.15 is Hanson.
Jurgens is 2.89. So a very solid staff, and we've talked about it.
You can see the run support. He's at the bottom of the pile. 3-2 coming to Hanley. Changeup struck him out. So an 0 for 3 night for Hanley Ramirez. Here is Cantu, who's 1 for 2.
Changeup or the splitter, because he'll use that splitter to right-handers as well as lefties. It's borderline low, but remember the low strike that was called, it forces you to go after that pitch. But right now Hanley's front side is taking him out of there, so he's really not getting a good look at pitches.
Cantu takes outside. His double in the second opened the inning. He moved up on a Baker single to right and scored on an Ugla sac fly. There's a strike.
By the way, that strikeout of Hanley, he's 0 for his last 11. The worst and the longest 0 for he's had this year is 0 for 12.
You know, on the low strike, let me ask you this as a hitter. Oh, wait a minute, check swing. They say he went around.
Boy, that puts you in a big hole, too.
Here's the 1-2. Cantu, left field, Infante, and Anderson. Anderson is there and makes the catch. So the Marlins are done in the 6th. Still 1-0. And the grounds crew in rare form. Look at the guys up over the tarp, got it on, high winds, no problem, best in the business. Now before tonight, wait a minute, freeze it. Look, a small grain.
Get that speck off there.
Off.
That's a perfectionist.
Frost brewed Coors Light freeze can. Here's Chipper Jones.
Interesting, Josh Johnson pitching Chipper Jones the same way he's pitching Adam LaRoche. Hard stuff up, and then occasionally other pitches, but trying to stay up in that area just like that.
Chipper gets jammed.
He just fought it off.
Dumps it down the line. Coughlin over to get it. All right, I want to bounce this off of you as a former Major League hitter and a card-carrying member of the Hitters Guild. Just in watching these two guys work, I think Adrian Johnson has done a very nice job behind home plate. He seems to be giving Kawakami the low strike. JJ doesn't get as many low strikes, but JJ seems to be getting more high strikes than Kawakami.
It's a nice strike zone, and you see because of that the pace of the game.
Is it because of their height? You got JJ 6'7", 6'8". When he throws a ball in that downward plane, it has a real downward movement to it. Kawakami is 5'11". I mean, he's already down there. His ball's not coming at such a downward plane.
Well, you hear hitters talk about facing a tall pitcher. Talking to some of the Marlins about Latos, the big guy with San Diego. A little tough that first time around. John Baker said that first AB really had a hard time picking him up. And I think it can be the same for an umpire, as he has a tall pitcher and one who's not so tall. He has a little different areas to see that ball coming from.
Garrett Anderson has popped out, bounced out. Garrett Anderson, a veteran hitter and a hot guy right now. Well, Josh Johnson had a no-hitter into the sixth. Andy Pettit is perfect through sixth. As the Yankees are in Baltimore, that's a tough ballpark to pitch in, let alone be perfect in Baltimore. High fly ball.
Yeah, good hitter's park is Camden Yards.
Hermita's there, and he makes the catch. Here comes LaRoche. He has struck out twice. Seventh inning, 1-0 Fish. The winner of this game gets a half game in the wild card chase. Both teams with identical records. The Giants, as we told you, are in Philadelphia. Colorado is home against the Mets. Drew Goodman and George Frazier, maybe Jeff Houston, they're all together watching the game, having a nice leisurely dinner. Maybe George has a glass of Cabernet going.
Good chance.
Drew might have a silver bullet going, since that's a Coors town. Josh Johnson with a fastball for a strike. Kruk and Kuiper are probably checking out the gift shop at the hotel in Philadelphia.
I don't know if they stay there.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's foul back. And it's 0-2. See, that's humor that we should save for the Inside the Marlins, the broadcasters, is the gift shop at the Hyatt in Philadelphia. It's one of those gift shops off the lobby where there's nobody in there.
Nobody works there. Yeah, it's just a
honor system.
Honor system. You use your room key. Go in there and pick up whatever you want.
There's some great $8 ties in there. Fastball is pop foul and out of play.
Nice catch by a fan. He kept his beverage in one hand and caught it in a hat. Great job. Look at this. All right.
That's a well-made hat to hold up to that.
And did not spill a drop.
Sanchez and Meyer in the bullpen. 0-2 to LaRoche. JJ 7 strikeouts, has walked 3. Snaps off a slider. Down goes LaRoche for the third time tonight. 8 punch-outs for Josh Johnson.
Yeah, you talked about that slider, down and in, keeps it under his hands. Boy, he's made some good pitches. And how about the other times he worked LaRoche up with fastball, so he changed his pattern a little bit to him that time. Yeah, we have to apologize to our viewers because there is some inside humor occasionally that only we know, our crew, the guys who work with us, they know some of the inside stuff, and every once in a while it just comes out.
Chipper, a leadoff single in the 7th. Drive into center field, a base hit. Chipper around second, racing towards third. He's going to get there. Cody was playing deep. Escobar, second hit of the inning, third hit of the night. And now it's Infante coming up. And a big moment in this ball game for Josh Johnson.
Watching Chipper Jones run, Chipper's always been an excellent base runner. Maybe not the blazing speed, but he knows how to run the bases. Knew that Cody Ross was deep, which he should have been. You want to play deep, try to cut anything off to keep a run from scoring. So if you know that as a runner, then you can easily make it from first to third. All of a sudden, you look at that pitch count, and here's what pops into my mind. The last 2 innings, he's had to work. Had the 25-pitch 6th inning, the 10-pitch at bat at Kawakami. Couple of base hits, couple of runners in this inning. So I'm sure Freddie right now is thinking, JJ, get this out, get through this 7th inning, and I'll go to the bullpen.
Infante 0 for 2. Braves have had a variety of center fielders this year. Jordan Schaefer, the rookie, started, hurt his wrist, tried to play through it, and was sent down. Nate McLouth, of course, acquired from the Pirates. His hamstring is still an issue.
And was doing a nice job. He kind of fit the bill. Now they've used Infante, Reed Gurecki.
Drive left center. Cody Ross after it, and he won't get it. It's all the way to the wall. It scores Chipper. Here comes Escobar. He's going to score. And Infante's got himself a triple. Two-run triple, and the Braves take their first lead of the ball game. Big hit by Infante.
Well, a fastball middle of the plate, and Infante just with a solid swing. Once that ball found that gap, you knew both runs were going to score. Escobar all the way from first.
Mark Wiley out to talk to Josh Johnson. So a no-hitter into the 6th. Gave up a 2-out single. And then in the 7th, Chipper Jones leads off with a base hit. Johnson gets the 2 outs. Then Escobar singles, and Infante triples. Infante, the 27-year-old Venezuelan, a versatile guy. Bobby Cox has played him all over the place.
I guess I get frustrated. You would have liked to have heard more fans rooting for Josh Johnson to get through that inning than rooting for Infante to hit his triple and put the Braves ahead. And my frustration comes out. I know there's some fans here. There's a lot of them watching. But there are a lot of Braves fans here who cheered on that triple instead of Marlins fans rooting for JJ to get through and shut down the Braves in the 7th inning.
He's going to have to get Ross to get through the 7th. Greg Norton is on deck for the Braves. Baker saves a run, smothers it. Ross walked in the third, down swinging in the sixth. 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. Johnson approaching 100 pitches. This is number 98. Two and 0. Ground ball up the middle into center field. David Ross, the backup catcher for the Braves, drives in a run, and the Braves make it 3-1. That's a huge run in this ballgame.
Against the Mets, against the Padres, we weren't talking about the big-time hitters. We were talking about the bottom part of the orders. And look at what's happened tonight. Infante with a big triple to drive in 2, and the backup catcher David Ross with a single to drive in another run. So it's been a bottom part of the orders. It's been hurting the Marlins the last week or so.
The Omir Santos, the Chase Headleys, the Fernando Tatises. Those are the guys that have had the big hits on this homestand. So JJ exits. The lead is gone. The Braves on top. Armour Rooney called to the pen.
When you need a car, truck.
Pitches even. 3 consecutive hits, 4 in the inning, and 3 runs, the first 3 of the night for the Braves. And it's a 3-1 game, a very different game now with Brian Sanchez in the ball game. You can see Sanchez, who's been very good in short relief, though the Marlins have had to use him in long relief these past 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's just been tremendous out of the bullpen in either capacity. Now the Marlins have to concentrate on shutting this inning down and then trying to put some offense together. The offense has been pretty quiet against Kawakami. Now they'll have to do it against the Braves bullpen.
First pitch, a strike from Sanchez. You can see Norton's numbers not good. Normally a pretty good pinch hitter, but not having the best of years in that department. Just 9 for 57 this year. Been a guy that's been almost a career pinch hitter, and a real good one.
Yeah, a lot of pinch hits, 94 career pinch hits.
13 of those have been home runs, and that ties him 11th all-time with Glenn Allen Hill. Sanchez with a splitter gets him. Inning over, but a big inning for the Braves. It changes this game. 3-1 Atlanta. Johnson, who took a no-hitter into the 6th inning.
Well, it started with, remember, a good pitch, but just a solid swing by Chipper. Then he got an out on a fly ball from Garrett Anderson. Got a strikeout, a great slider to LaRoche. But then it was Escobar singling into center field, and a big hit. Omar Infante found the gap in left center, driving in 2. That put the Braves ahead. And then they got more on a ground ball base hit up the middle by David Ross, the number 8 hitter. And you're right, hitting the wall happened quickly, just couldn't get that one more out. Now you want to see the offense take charge.
Baker hits one to left, and Garrett Anderson makes the catch.
He missed that ball in Philadelphia. He had an easier play in Philadelphia last night and couldn't make the catch, and he robs Baker right there.
Remember, he dropped 2 balls against the Marlins in Atlanta this year. 2 of his only 3 errors all year.
And look at that. And he also made a nice catch earlier in the game on a sinking line drive hit by Cotton. So you'd like to see the offense, Rich, at least get Josh Johnson off the hook and at least let him have a no decision. But they're going to have to do it to start things against a guy who's been almost unhittable since the All-Star break. Moylan has an ERA of 0.46. He's given up just 1 run since the All-Star break in 19 1/3 innings.
That 1 run was to the Marlins, but still this year a 1.50 ERA, and this is his 8th appearance against the Fish. And these are guys the Marlins have had trouble with. Moylan, Gonzalez in the 8th, Soriano in the 9th. 2-0 to Ugla. Ugla tonight has had 2 good at bats. You see Cody on deck. Sacrifice fly to drive in the only run of the night, and then he singled back in the 4th. Marlins had opportunities against Kawakami to get more than just the one they got. Chris Medlin joins Eric O'Flaherty. That's down low. Ugla walks. So Dan is aboard. You can lock in priority seating for the new Marlins ballpark today. Purchase a current Marlins season ticket plan. Reserve your spot. 1-877-MARLINS, the number to call. Make sure you don't miss out on premium seating in the new Marlins ballpark. Marlins baseball is where you want to be.
Rich, you've talked about it a lot. Dan Ugla drawing walks, being much more patient. That was number 76 on the year. His career high is 77.
Cody Ross has bounced into 2 double plays. And Moylan spins a frisbee slider up there for a strike.
Cody came into this game, a little 3-game hit streak, has been swinging the bat pretty well.
Ross drives that ball to center. Infante makes the catch. So here comes Hermida. We'll see if he'll face the righty, and he won't. Bobby Cox is out of the dugout. Hermida has decent numbers against Moylan. And so Flaherty's going to come in. We'll see if the Marlins counter. Here's Armarooney called to the bullpen.
When you need a car.
The well-worn lefty.
Well, you're right. Bobby Cox going with the matchup. Jeremy Hermida was 2 for 4 against Peter Moylan. So he countered with the lefty, and Freddie countered with Wes Helms.
Helms takes a strike. So it's Helms with Ugla at first. Brett Carroll is on deck. Helms takes a cut at a breaking ball, and quickly it's 0-2. Well, Flaherty hasn't messed around. There's BC.
Wes Helms on the year, 291 against lefties, 274 against righties.
Helms started his career as an Atlanta Brave. Moved on to Milwaukee, then down to Florida, then up to Philly, then back with the Fish. We told you pinch hit leaders, Helms and Glode, have been near the top. Seth Smith, who was a great September call-up in the Rockies' run to the World Series in 2007, is having a terrific year for Jim Tracy and the Rockies. It's outside. Helms runs the count to 2-2. Well, Medlin is ready, and so is Gonzalez.
I think Medlin would be in this inning. I think we'd see Gonzalez next inning.
Although if the inning progresses, here's the 2-2. That's outside. If the inning progresses, you've got the pitcher spot due up next. Then you've got lefties in Coughlin and Glover. Obviously, Helms has got to keep the line moving. It was 0-2, now it's 3-2. And Helms checks his swing. No, he went around. Gary Cederstrom says Wes Helms went. Oh, man.
Boy, that's close.
He's in right field. Matt Diaz leads it off, and he takes a hack and fouls a pitch back.
It's hard nowadays, and we've talked about it, to check a swing. 90% of the time on anything close, it's going to be called a strike.
Here's the 1-1. Hit him. Hit him right in the shirt. Diaz is hit. Prado is coming up. Another look. Boy, the letter of the rule is, in the umpire's judgment, if the player makes an attempt at the ball and actually strikes at the ball, it's not break the wrist, it's not break the plane of the plate.
It didn't look like he tried to strike the ball.
A bunt. Globe picks it up, tags the runner out. Diaz is now in scoring positions. The Braves look to add on here in the 8th inning. That'll give the big bats an opportunity. We'll see if the big bats face Sanchez. Of course, you got Chipper, the switch hitter, then the lefties, and Anderson and LaRoche, and Myers ready in the bullpen.
Yeah, I guess you're going to have Dan Meyer face the lefties. I remember a conversation, we brought it up in Atlanta, we had with Freddie about Chipper Jones. He's just going to walk him here. But I remember asking him, if you get into a situation, would you rather face him left-handed or right-handed? And he said it really doesn't matter. But in this case, just going to put him on. And he'll have Brian Sanchez do that. Then he'll have Meyer come in to face the left-handers.
So Sanchez with the intentional walk. Here comes Freddie, and here comes Dan Meyer. Braves lead this ball game 3-1 in the 8th. Big game for both teams. Here is a Marooney called to the bullpen.
When you need a car, truck or van, you can call Marooney.
Certainly helped Josh Johnson, who took a no-hitter into the 6th inning. He got not one, but he got 2. Checkers double plays. The Marlins could use another one right now. The Braves with a couple on. Dan Meyer out of the bullpen. Garrett Anderson is 0 for 3. With Braves at first and second, Diaz at second, Chippers at first. The left-handed bats stack up now with Anderson and LaRoche.
You got a couple of guys too who are pretty accomplished hitters. Garrett Anderson, a near 300 career hitter, and this year hitting .304 against lefties. But a guy, if you can get him to hit that ball on the ground, the Marlins can turn their 3rd double play.
With runners in scoring position, there's been a hot bat these last 2 weeks. Meyer misses, and it's 2-0. It's the All-Star break, a .320 average. Last 10 games, over .380. Not the best of speed on, especially the trail runner, Chipper Jones. Anderson not happy. The high strike's been called pretty consistently tonight.
You can see the look of disgust in Garrett Anderson's face. 37-year-old veteran.
Fights that one off, and Meyer comes back to run the count even at 2-2.
Garrett Anderson, if you look at his career and you look at all the Angels offensive categories, you're going to see his name in just about every one of them.
Probably a few Rod Carews and Tim Salmons in there as well. And Vladdy Guerrero with the damage that he's done with the Angels. Anderson, of course, a big part of that 2002 World Championship. Good slider. Meyer gets the strikeout. Anderson 0 for 4, but one more guy to get, and that's Adam LaRoche.
Boy, that's a big out and a tough hitter. Just a good pitch, then cutter slider moving away, and gets Garrett Anderson.
By the way, Josh Johnson had a no-hitter broken up in the 6th inning. Andy Pettit had a perfect game broken up in, looks like, the 7th inning. Nick Markakis with a base hit. Yankees have an error in that ball game as well. So I'm not sure which one came first, the error or the hit. LaRoche lines it to right. Brett Carroll charging on a hot run around third, coming home. Here comes Carroll. It's cut. The throw was cut. It may have been offline. And LaRoche, who had struck out 3 times, comes through with an RBI single. It's 4-1.
Didn't hit this ball hard, and I do believe the throw was a little offline. You get yourself set. If it goes through to the plate, I don't think it gets the runner anyway. With 2 out, Diaz got a good jump, and also the ball wasn't hit sharply. Hit a little bit off the end of the bat. But a big run for the Braves.
So a hit batter turns into a run. Escobar is up, and now Meyer faces him. This couldn't set up any better for Bobby Cox and his bullpen, because Mike Gonzalez is his 8th inning guy. The Marlins will have the pitcher spot, and then their 2 lefties, Coughlin and Glode, in the 8th. That one is fouled back. The error came first in Baltimore, by the way, then the hit. Now the Orioles have a couple of hits.
Well, the only difference in that game, the Yankees have maintained the lead. They have a 5-0 lead.
Melvin Mora just homered. Make it 5-1. That's a broken bat. That one's going to dump in there. Runner going to third. Boy, Brett Carroll just threw a laser beam to throw out LaRoche. The run does score. 2 more for the Braves. It's now 5-1. Trying to win games and get to the playoffs. That's the big picture, not how many hits I get. Reed Gorecki in the ball game. A little more mobility in left field. Emilio Bonifacio takes a strike. And yep, there's that guy, Mike Gonzalez, the gyrating reliever with outstanding numbers.
Well, that's a great combo for the Braves that they have going with a guy who has closed out games, and Gonzalez setting it up for Soriano.
Kenshin Kawakami went 6. Peter Moylan, Eric O'Flaherty in the 7th. Gonzalez here in the 8th. And a fly ball to right. Diaz makes the catch. Here comes Coughlin, and this is a true test, certainly.
The other thing that doesn't bode well for Freddie, trying to go for it with Wes Helms and a chance with man on base, at that time a 2-run game. And now he has back-to-back left-handed hitters. He has Ross Glode on deck. Really nowhere to go with Glode. He's going to have to hit against the lefty Gonzalez.
That's why it sets up perfectly for Bobby Cox.
So again, things are a little different, and they are for all the teams. A little bit different once September comes and you have a few more cards to play with.
Which is good news and bad news. It's nice if you need some flexibility, but sometimes it can lengthen the games. High pop. Escobar behind Chipper makes the catch. But Mike Gonzalez gets 2 outs in the 8th, and here comes Claude. And when you see, if the Marlins do see Soriano in the 9th, you don't have Claude to send up there if the situation was tight. He sends that one out to left. That would be Reed Gorecki. That's a brief 8th inning for the Fish and Mike Gonzalez. It's the 9th. Tim Wood makes his 10th appearance.
Yeah, he's been able to quietly in his couple of stints with the ball club, put together some decent numbers. Nice ERA at 2.63.
Omar Infante had a huge hit in the 7th inning. Josh Johnson was still in there. With 2 outs, he'd given up a couple of hits. And Infante cracked one into left center field. It went all the way to the wall for a 2-run triple. And Soriano is indeed up.
And it's not a save situation either.
Tells you what Bobby Cox thinks of this game.
Well, he knows one like this is a nice one for him to get. With the Marlins starting Josh Johnson, he gave Brian McCann the night off, and if he can get a win, Bobby Cox knows it's even extra special. 4th all-time in wins. He knows the importance of those things.
Here's the 1-2. Into center field, the base hit. Infante leads off the night. The ironic thing is this for the Braves. They were going to yank Kenshin Kawakami out of the rotation, and Tim Hudson was going to make this start. But when they started thinking about September 1st, which is tomorrow, and postseason rosters, and they decided just to start Kawakami here and then bring Hudson into the rotation tomorrow night. I suspect their plans were, all right, this is Kawakami's last start, but this might be the best start of the Braves rotation in this series. He went 6 innings, gave up just the 1 run. That's a fair ball. Cantu got an out. Uggla's turn is in time. Nicely done. 5-4-3.
Boy, that was real nice by Jorge Cantu and also by Dan Uggla. Had a little time with Ross, the runner, but there's the throw. Uggs just flat-footed because he's got the runner coming in on him, Infante, and then gets a throw off to first base.
So you've got 2 very different feelings in both dugouts. You've got one team who is suddenly got a surplus of starting pitching and good starting pitching. Then you got another team on the other side in the Marlins who right now are trying to piece together a rotation.
And obviously, as we said as this game began, a much bigger win it would be for the Marlins, a must-win with Josh Johnson on the mound. It's one of those, if you're the Atlanta Braves, you figure, you know what, if we can sneak by this one, get by their big ace. And it looks like they're about to do that.
Sometimes when you put things down on paper, though, it doesn't always come out the way you think it will. This obviously it will be a big win for the Braves. And like we told you at the start of the night, it's a chance to pick up half a game in the wild card. Because the Marlins and the Braves with identical records, a game short both of what the Rockies have played and what the Giants have played. So this brings everybody up to the same amount of games played. It would drop the loser of this game to 4 back and the winner to 3 back. Coughlin circles that one and makes the catch. Inning over. Marlins have Coughlin coming up. formation. Marlins have put themselves in quite a hole here against the Braves. Rally dance notwithstanding, 5-1. And Rafael Soriano strides in with a 4-run cushion to try to close this out. Hanley Ramirez, Jorge Cantu, John Baker in the ninth. Soriano delivers down low. Hanley is just 1 for 8 against Soriano.
You know, the frustrating thing too, Rich, if the Marlins aren't able to mount a rally, and if they lose this game, they will have had a month of August, 14 wins, 14 losses, even with the batting average, the team batting average near 300, and putting up a lot of offense for the month.
Soriano, the talented right-hander, his 3rd year with Atlanta, often injured, 14 games last year for the Braves. Former outfielder with Seattle. Liked his arm, didn't like his bat, and he's becoming an electric reliever with great stuff, as they say.
It's happened with a few minor league players who sign as shortstops or outfielders or catchers.
Hanley fouls that pitch off. Count full now, 3-2. That is strike 3 call.
And all of a sudden, Rich, you have to start with some concern in Hanley Ramirez. That's his 3rd straight game now without a hit. Hanley has equaled his season high 0 for 12.
And he has struck out 3 times on an 0 for 4 night. Our Jaguar performer of the game, Kenshin Kawakami. Check out the new R Performance vehicles at your local Jaguar dealer or on JaguarUSA.com. In what might be his last start in the rotation, Kawakami goes
6 innings, gives up 1 run.
Right. We showed you earlier the run support, and Kawakami's at the bottom of the pile of all the starters that the Braves have. But if he wins this game, his record will go to 7-10. Who knows, though? I mean, who knows what Tim Hudson's going to look like tomorrow night. His first start in the big league since Tommy John surgery. So Kawakami certainly is a great insurance policy if they do take him out of the rotation.
Well, he started for the most part in Japan, but he did pitch 40-50 games out of the bullpen in Japan, so you have to look ahead that maybe he'd be a good fit in the bullpen. But a frustrating night for the Fish.
One, two. Cantu's double back in the second. Came in on a Dan Uggla sacrifice fly. Marlins were unable to add on to that lead. Had a couple runners aboard with 1 out in the 3rd. Same thing in the 4th. And in neither of those innings were they able to get a run. Three-two coming to Cantu. Fouls the fastball back. Anibal Sanchez and Tim Hudson tomorrow night.
certainly a big start for Hudson. We know and we remember the outing that Josh Johnson had at Dodger Stadium, coming back less than a year from Tommy John surgery. In Hudson's case, a little over a year for a 34-year-old veteran who has been one of the game's best over the last 8 or 9 years.
Cantu drives that one to left field, hits it pretty well. Gorecki goes back. That one's off the top of the scoreboard, and Jorge's got himself a double.
A couple of doubles tonight for Jorge Cantu, and that gives him 32. So the Marlins with a number of players, 30 doubles or more. Cody has 31, Hanley with 37, and Jorge Cantu 32 now.
John Baker now has hit the ball hard all 3 times up, singled in the second, singled in the fourth, and he had a line smash that Garrett Anderson snared at the wall back in the 7th. Soriano misses outside. One thing the Marlins have done here is at the very least they've forced Soriano to throw 19 pitches. Here comes the 1-0 to Baker. And a swing and a miss. Braves on top 5-1. Bottom of the 9th. Rafael Soriano, the 1-1 pitch coming. Slider and a strike, and it's 1-2. Cantu a double, but the Marlins need more base runners. Baker slices one foul. And they count 1-2. Our score bug experiencing technical difficulties.
Here's Tim Hudson. Been talking about his first appearance of the year after a number of minor league rehab starts.
One and two with 1 out. And Baker got caught going after a high fastball. So there are 2 outs now.
Always a tough pitch to lay off of when you have 2 strikes. I think the other thing about Hudson, it'll be interesting for the Braves, depending on how he pitches in September, because they have a decision to make in a contract. They have an option on Hudson for a sizable amount.
Hudson's option next year is for $12 million. Braves have got $50 million in this rotation this year. Ugla takes a gorgeous slider for a strike. Derek Lowe's making 15. Hudson's making 15. Vasquez is making 11.5. Kawakami is making close to 10.
Yeah, they get a little bit of a break with Tommy Hanson and Jair Jurgens, a couple of youngsters. Pretty good investment in that rotation.
Kawakami has 2 more years on his contract. Derek Lowe has 3 more years on his contract. 2-1. Two and 2 to Ugla. Marlins down to their last strike. on a night where Josh Johnson was cruising, had a no-hitter into the 6th. Braves got to him, knocked him out in the 7th, added on in the 8th. And the Atlanta bullpen that's been tough on the Marlins this year has been solid tonight. Ugla smacks that ball in the gap, right center field. That one's going to get in. It's going to go to the wall. Ugla to second. RBI double. 5-2. 2 for 2 for Ugla, and he's driven in both runs.
Sac fly and a walk, sandwiched around a couple of base hits, and just a good piece of hitting on a high fastball, driving it out of the reach of Matt Diaz, the right fielder.
Cody Ross now. Soriano has started the right-handers off with that slider. He's out front 0-1. Ross to right field. Diaz is there, and he makes the catch, and the Braves get a big one here tonight in South Florida. On a Kenshin Kawakami start, the Braves bust up Josh Johnson's no-hitter in the 6th.